right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Natty Teacher. I am, of course, your host, The Natty Teacher. Today's lesson, we have a quad-based leg day. Keeping the rep ranges a little bit higher today, and for the next couple weeks leading up into my show, we will add in some heavier rep ranges, more closer to that 5 to 8 rep range, or like 5 to maybe even like 5 or 6 rep range post-show. But for the last couple weeks, when we're really trying to bring out those last little bits of detail and essentially just juice the legs for all they are worth these last couple weeks, the rep ranges will be a little bit higher. Weight will be slightly lower. I don't want to go too low, but it will be a little bit lower. Really getting those deep ranges of motion, and really again, just kind of pumping as much out of the legs as we can in these last couple of training sessions that we have. So excited. We are 1 subscriber short of 150 subscribers already, so thank you guys so much for all the support. Keep liking and sharing and commenting, and push those around you to subscribe and follow the channel if they want, of course. It's definitely motivating for me to see how fast this channel has grown, and absolutely makes me want to continue to post more content for you guys. Again, if you have any suggestions or feedback, please leave it in the comments below or shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram. I will definitely take those considerations into mind. So anyways, first exercise that you will see me doing in just a second here is leg extensions. So today, 2 working sets of leg extensions. Both of them will be most likely like a myo rep match set, which means I'll do as many reps as possible with a certain amount of weight, and then do that same amount of reps with that same amount of weight again, even if I have to pause a few times in between to get there. So really trying to squeeze the crap out of the quads, get them fired up before we move into our compound work. So anyways, join me for some leg extensions right about now. All right, so as expected, I wouldn't lie to you guys. First exercise on the docket, we got some nice controlled full range of motion leg extensions. All right, I will say this leg extension machine is like the heaviest leg extension machine ever, because it is literally just an attachment to the end of a bench. So I've used some commercial gym leg extensions, and they are far better as far as like the actual load I'm able to comfortably use. But here, again, the load isn't the most important part. We want to still pick a challenging weight, and we want that son of a gun to burn real bad. But what we are trying to do is essentially get 2 sets of 20 reps with this weight. We're going to do 1 top set here, which is the recorded set. And then what we're going to do is take a nice rest period, probably about a 2-minute rest period. And then we are going to do another set with this same weight for 20 reps. Again, squeezing each rep at the top of the movement. You can really see those quads light up when I get that full extension. Okay, so again, 2 total sets here after a couple little warm-ups. Did a little mobility work to start, and then did a couple very light, low-rep warm-up sets to kind of get the knees firing a little bit. And then we moved on. So again, 2 sets here, both for 20 reps. Again, really emphasizing squeezing the crap and flexing the crap out of the quads in that fully shortened position. So when the legs are straight out in front of the body. Okay. Now, up next here, as we finish off this set, I actually threw in an exercise that I have not done in quite some time and was embarrassingly weak at. To an extent, not bad. I mean, on prep, and also just, really using the form I was using, and the set you'll see was actually my back off set. Again, it wasn't terrible, but man, this is a long set here. As I'm trying to intro it, but the exercise you will see next, it is a heel elevated barbell back squat, or I should say specifically a high bar barbell back squat. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm really trying to get that butt down, sink down really, really deep, and this angle isn't the best, but I'm getting well below 90 degrees here, or at least quite a bit below 90. Really, really coming down and coming up hard out of the bottom. Again, I've been really hack squatting and leg pressing as my big compound movements for quite some time. So I just wanted to throw this back in. I got a little motivation from, a couple of clips I saw on social media. I actually say that in my outro as well, but I did. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw it in. And this is definitely an exercise you will see me do in the off season, especially quite a bit heavier, throw in some different rep ranges, and really play with this exercise to make some solid progress. Because again, legs are definitely my weak point. At least certain aspects. Quads from the front look pretty good, but hamstrings and glutes are definitely lacking. And throwing in a big movement like some good deep squats is only going to help me accentuate the legs, especially in the quads, even more. You can see I'm like leaning forward a little bit on these last couple reps. Definitely not perfect, but for not squatting for literally months, I was pretty happy with it. And again, this is my back off set here as well. So we already did a top set before this, but with a heavier weight. So again, just focusing on getting that depth down, trying to, do the best we can. The calves look pretty good. Calves look pretty solid in this clip, so that's cool. But again, definitely not perfect squats, but again, really getting a nice hard pause at the bottom, powering up out of it, So anyways, hack squats. This one, I got to admit, this one I am relatively good at as far as form and control. Again, we are really searching for this top set to be in that 10 to 12 rep range, and we actually hit that top end of that. We hit a nice set of 12 here. Nice and slow. I want it to look like it's slow motion on the way down. Like I'm like intentionally slowing down the camera clip. So I'm coming all the way down and I'm getting that nice hard pause at the bottom. You can see that it's like, man, that explosiveness out of the bottom gets challenging. All right. Trying to keep those heels pressed against the pad as hard as we possibly can. It's hard to see from this angle, but there is actually a flat pad on top of the cushy back pad for the leg press. So what that does is that allows me to get a little extra depth in the actual hack squat itself, which is really, really nice. You might hear the natty baby in the background. She's playing down here with me while I'm doing my voiceover. So anyways, so again, really focusing on getting that depth, really trying to, again, this being my last heavy quad workout before competing, as we're stepping on stage now in about 2.5 weeks. So next week's will be more of like a deload type, leg workout or quad workout a week from now. And then after that, no leg training at all, which we'll talk about more as we get closer to the show. For that last week, no leg training, that is. Still leg train at least up until a week out. But again, we'll talk about that more when we get to it later on in another video. But again, really focusing on the depth, nice hard pause in the bottom. We're not bouncing out of the bottom. Again, we are trying to feel that full stretch and really push as hard as we can out of the bottom here. Again, we kind of just kept going. I was shooting for right around 10, and I'm like, man, you know what? We're going to dig. This is the last heavy workout before the show. Let's just give everything we got. And I'm glad I did for sure. So again, one top set and then one back off set there. Leg press, same concept. One top set. I did one top set and then a myo rep match set, meaning that I used the same weight, but didn't quite get as many reps in a row, so I had to rest. So I racked the weight, and then, you can call it a rest pause as well. There is a few minute differences between myo rep sets and rest pause sets as well. I would say it's more of a myo rep set because it was not a long rest period at all. I didn't get up from the machine or whatever on the second working set. But again, you're seeing the top set here. Again, really, you can see that I'm getting a ton of quad flexion, bringing the feet well below the knees here, taking the ego out. We're not worrying about doing 10 plates aside or anything like that, especially on this leg press. I guarantee you, if you're doing 10 plates aside on a regular, like a Cybex or something like that, and you use this leg press, be prepared to cut that about in half. I've used other leg presses at other gyms. This one is like by far the heaviest leg press that I have come across, which is good. It keeps my ego in check for sure. So again, one top set here, one myo rep match set, really focusing on stretching those quads as much as I can without knee pain. That is the key here. Okay, as soon as those knees start bugging you, especially, if it's a little tweak here and there, even then, you really need to address that. But again, we are making sure that we are putting as much tension on the quads as possible while keeping the knees comfortable. If those knees start bugging you, we got to change something up. Okay, it doesn't mean to limit range of motion. Could mean just you need to lighten the load or maybe change your foot placement or whatever, play around a little bit. But again, we are making sure that we are staying pain-free in the knees. Pushing hard, but staying pain-free for sure. So again, 2 working sets there. I think we're looking at the last rep or so here as I'm grinding it out here. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, here we go. So nice final push hard. Then this exercise, again, I would not recommend this for somebody who's first coming into the gym to try to just hop into this particular exercise. This is one that I've practiced variations of for a little while. In the off season, to be honest with you, I'd say this is more of like a detail type exercise, even though that really doesn't even exist. But it really stretches the crap out of the quads, which is great for mobility. And I've actually found that the more stretching I do within the movements I've done for legs, the more healthy healthy mobility I've had and the better my knees have felt compared to limiting ranges of motion where I've, done shortened like partial reps and whatever with heavier weights, actually bugged my knees a lot more. So getting, a couple exercises in and doing, hack squats and barbell squats and these types of close foot squats where I'm really putting a ton of emphasis on stretching the quad, and pushing the knees way out over the toes. Again, I would not recommend this to somebody in their first day in the gym, but over time, as you get more mobile, it is a great exercise. One working set here, just one. And I think we did, set of 13. But just to give you an idea, this is an exercise where it's literally like a 25-pound plate on each side. It is very difficult. It is very humbling. Please do not try to do the same weight you're going to do with your, a hack squat or a barbell squat or whatever. This is the way that I like to do it. It feels pretty good on my legs. But again, as we move into the off season, you will see additional working sets and more of like the barbell squats, leg press, hack squat type thing, and these types of little accessory movements that I kind of threw in just for fun will most likely be gone. Maybe I'll throw in a set from time to time, but as we're getting into the big growth off-season phase, we're definitely going to see more working sets dedicated to bigger exercises. Then to end with, you can't forget about calves, man. Please do not forget about calves. Again, what you're seeing here is some leg press machine calves. Notice how I am sitting in that stretch position at the bottom, at least for a brief moment. So it's a kind of a pulse rep up. I'm pulsing up, getting a very brief squeeze with the calf fully lengthened, and then allowing, the weight to come down and rest at the fully stretched portion of that. Or actually, that would be the fully lengthened part, is that stretched part. So in the shortened position is where I'm, when I'm pointing the toes, that's the shortened position. That calf muscle is nice and short, and I'm not holding there. I think there's a big misconception that you have to hold these reps. Each rep you do on, the calf machine, you sit there and hold it at the top. It's great for promoting a pump, but is that actually growing the muscle? I think it depends. Ever since I've switched to this style of rep where I stretch more and then hold at the bottom and then pulse the weight up at the top, that has made a huge difference. Here comes the outro. All right. Leg workouts complete. Man, I'll tell you what, that was a 10 out of 10 quad-based leg workout. I actually threw back in some barbell back squats, kind of more of a high bar squat. I have not barbell back squatted in a long time. Kind of got motivated just by, some clips I had seen on Instagram and stuff. I'm like, you know what? I want to throw this back in. Get a nice heel elevated squat. I'm going to grab some squat shoes because I do want to actually throw back in some heavier barbell squats in this upcoming off season. So like I said, felt great. Definitely was humbling for sure. The set that I recorded, and I know I already said this, but you saw my back off set, and even that, keeping that, in that high of rep range was humbling. Getting that nice depth, getting a nice pause at the bottom, and then coming apart out of the hole. Woo! Tell you what, but felt great. The whole workout, man, felt really, really good. Again, it's always a good feeling leaving the gym after one of those workouts. My legs, felt like they were, very, very, as you would say, pumped to the gills, okay? Great workout, definitely an A to A+ workout for sure, and always good to get that going. That was my last hard leg workout before competing. Crazy to think that we're already that close to showtime. Next week will be much more of a deloaded style leg workout for both quads, and then on hamstring and glute day next Friday. Really trying to essentially do the least I can in that last full week of my hard training, before I, especially for the legs, before I step on stage the following weekend after that. So crazy to think we're already at that point. There are some reasons why I do let my foot off the gas the last couple weeks as far as training goes. Today was definitely not one of those days. But like I said, next week's training sessions will, definitely have the foot off the gas a little bit, and we'll explain that when those days come. But yeah, man, phenomenal leg workout. Felt really good to get that going, and that is a great way to end my hard quad sessions again before competing. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Check out tomorrow's episode. Should be up, later on in the evening, maybe between 6 and 7 p.m. Tomorrow we do have our second push day of the week, our push B day. So that'll be exciting. Love that. Great workout. I have a lot of fun with that workout. So I'm super excited to get in there and crush that. And yeah, again, I'm the Natty Teacher. And at least for today, School is out. I'll see y'all tomorrow.